Good morning to all. I am Tendral. I'm working as Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. Today I'm going to give one video lecture, Introduction of the Solid Mechanics. Is a course code U18PCCE403. So topic bending moment and shear force. The first one, outline of the presentation. So for this PPT, we have discussed about what is the beams, what is the bending, what are the types of the supports, beams and load, and bending moment and shear force. The first one is beams. A beam is a structural element that primarily resists loads applied laterally to the beam axis. Its a mode of the deflection is primarily by bending. The load applied to the beam result in the reaction force at the beam support point. The total effect of all the forces acting on the beam is to be produce shear force and bending moment within the beam. The turn induced internal stress, strain and deflection of the beam. The first one, this image is showing this a beam. So beam is a structural element which is capable for withstanding transfer loads simply if the beam transfers applied loads to the supports. So beam is a structural element like a slab column. Beam is a structural element. So beam is a transfer the loads to the supports. So this is we are find out what is the shear force and bending moment for this beam. So the next one, bending of the beams. When a beam is experiences the bending moment, it will be change in the shape and internal stress will be developed. The shape change in the element of the beam is a bending. So what is the bending of the beam means? We are up due to the beam we are applying due to the external load. So the bending moment will be changed in the shape of the internal stress due to the load. The beam will be changed in the shape. The internal shape will be changed due to the force. So the force will be developed, the change in the shape of the element of the beam is a bending. So the change in the element of the beam is called as a bending. The material is a compression on the inside of the curve of the tension of the outside of the curve and the transfer planes in the material remaining parallel to the radius during the bending. So for this beam, for this the material is a compression inside of the curve. It means for this diagram here, this diagram. So the inside of the curve is a compression, is outside of the curve is a tension. There is a tension. This transfer plate of the material remaining parallel to the radius during the bending. So this remaining balanced the radius of the curvature remaining to be parallel. So that is the beams in the bending. The pure bending show the diagram that is called as a pure bending can produce by the applying for forces of the beam two or opposite direction at each end. This is known the 4-point bending and produce a uniform bending moment over the center section of the beam. Okay, so here this is a beam. So what is the pure, this diagram is called as a pure bending. Okay, so due to the from the external load, so here from this both supporters the reaction is there. So this is applying the four forces of the beam to opposite direction of each end. So this is called as a pure bending. The next one, types of the support. The types of the support means any beam for any beam. So the weight of the beam, it means to bear of the that support is called as a type supports. So the support is classified 4 types. And the first one is a fixed support. The second one is a roller support. The third one is a hinged support, and fourth one is a simple support. So third one we call is a hinged support or pinned support. A support is an element. So a support is an element which bears the weight of the beam and keeps it upright. Simply we can say that is the things which keeps beam is a equilibrium. Okay, so the element which bears the weight of the beam is called as a supports. So the supports we are classified for 4 types. The first one is a fixed support. This is the image for this fixed support. So the fixed support means both end is a fixed is called as a fixed support. Okay. So the beam end resistant to take any kind of translations or bending moment. Okay. So this is beam can take any resist any kind of translation or bending moment. Okay, so this is a free body diagram for this fixed support. This is called as a reaction diagram for the fixed support. So if a fixed support means to translation, it's possible from horizontal direction and vertical direction and movement. Okay, that is called as a fixed support. So for the fixed support means is the number of the reaction is a 3. It means sum of V equal to 0, sum of H equal to 0 and sum of M equal to 0. So it means to allow transition for the horizontal direction and vertical direction and the movement. So for the fixed support the number of the reaction equal to 3. It's a reaction diagram. Okay, so the next one, roller support. Roller support only resist perpendicular forces and they cannot resist parallel or horizontal forces and movement. It means the roller support will move freely along the surface without resisting horizontal forces. So this is a free body diagram for the roller support. This is a reaction diagram for the roller support. So what is the definition for the roller support means if you roller support to allow the movement only to transfer to allow the movement only for the vertical direction. So it's not allowed for the horizontal and movement. So it's a roller support. So for the roller support, so for the roller support, the number of the reaction is a 1. Sum of V equal to 0. If we roller support, we are used normally in the bridge structures. This type of support is provided at one end is a bridge span. The reason for providing a roller support at one end is to allow the contraction or expansion of the bridge disc with respect to temperature difference in the atmosphere. So here this image is called as a roller support. This image is called as a roller support, the first one. So the for roller support normally we are used in the bridge span. Okay, so what is the reason why we are using roller support in the bridge span means, so here for the temperature changes, due to the temperature changes, for bridge is a contraction, the expansion is a bridge disc. So due to that the contraction and expansion, if you rolling, if you contraction means moving and expansion means the roller also expansion. So that is the purpose we are using roller support at all the bridge spans. The second image, so what is the best practical example for the roller support is a rolling chair and a rolling suitcase. It means if any rolling chair and a rolling suitcase is moving either only for the vertical direction only. It's not allowed to rotation and it's not allowed to horizontal direction. So that is a definition for the roller support. So the next one is a pinned support. So pinned support is we are called as other name is a hinged support. So pinned support or hinged support can resist both vertical and horizontal forces, but they cannot resist movement. It means hinged support is resistant against translation. The pinned support has two support reactions and these are the vertical and horizontal reactions. It's allow the structural member to rotate but do not allow the translating in any direction. The pinned support allows the rotation only in the one direction and resists the rotation in any other direction. So here what is the pinned support means is a pinned support is called as other name is a hinged support. If you hinge support, it means it resists both vertical and horizontal forces, but it cannot resist the movement. Okay, it means sum of V equal to 0 and sum of H equal to 0. If you sum of M equal to is not equal to 0. That is a hinged support. Okay, so what is the best practical example for this pinned support? So all the doors and windows is a pinned support only, pinned or hinged support only. Here for if doors you can allow to move for the vertical direction or horizontal direction, and also you can take any window. The window it's move to either vertical direction or horizontal direction. So it's not possible to move rotation in the if any door or window. It's not possible to rotations. Okay, so what is the best practical example for the hinged supports are the doors and windows only. Okay, so here this is a first diagram. This is a free body diagram for this pinned support. So the second diagram is the reaction forces for this pinned support. So what is the reaction forces means? If you pinned support means it's allowed to only for the horizontal and to allow the forces for the horizontal and vertical only, but the movement is not allowed. So for the pinned support, the number of the reaction is the 2. It means sum of the V equal to 0 and sum of H equal to 0. The next, the third diagram, the bridge structures for the pinned support. So here it's called as a pinned support. Here it's called as a pinned support. Okay, So the next one, simply support, is the fourth one. For the simply support, we are not normally used in the structures, and also we are not used in the daily life. So the pinned support is one of the supports only. So like a roller supports, the simply support. Okay. So the simply support is the same. The only one reaction is allowed for the verticals only. It's not allowed to horizontal and movement. Okay. So what is the practical example for the pinned support? The pan wood resisting two concrete blocks in the best example for this simply support. Okay, so simply support, this is a free body diagram for the simply support, this is a reaction diagram for the simply support. So the simply support resists only vertical forces or loads but no horizontal forces. So the next one, types of the beams. So the types of the beams, there are 5 types of the beams we are classified. So the types of the beams, basic on the concept how they supported, they are classified into following types. So the types of the beams we are classified 5 types. The first one is a fixed beam. The second one is a cantilever beam. The third one is a simply supported beam. The fourth one is a overhanging beam. The fifth one is a continuous beam. These are types of the beams. So now we are discussing about what is the first one, what is a fixed beam. Okay, a beam which is having fixed support and the both of it is end. It is named as a fixed beam. And we can see some real example for this kind of the beams and how they resisting the movement of the beam. Okay. So the first one, what is a fixed support? Fixed beam means, so here you can see this first diagram. It's a beam. So the both end is a fixed support. Okay, if any both end is a fixed support means is called as a fixed beam. Okay, so the second diagram is a deflection diagram for this fixed beam. So the next one is a real life example for this fixed support. For this connection, so all the connection is a fixed supports only. The next one, cantilever beam. So here a beam which having fixed support at one end and other end is a free, it's called as a cantilever beam. Okay, so here what is a cantilever beam means, if the cantilever beam, you can see the second diagram. The second diagram is a free body diagram for this cantilever beam. So cantilever beam means, so here it's called as a beam. So here is called as a beam. So the support A is a fixed support. The support B is a free end. That is called as a cantilever beam. So from the free end, so due to load will be acting. Okay. So for the cantilever beam, what is the best example for the cantilever beam? So the diving board is the best example for the cantilever beam. So in the cantilever beam, so the one end is a fixed. You can see the first image. The first end, one end is a fixed, other end is a free. Okay, that is called as a cantilever beam. The next one, simply supported beam. A beam which simply supports externally at the two ends of the beam, that called is a simply supported beam. Okay, so the simply supported beam, here you can see this diagram. So the first end is a pinned support. The second one is a roller support. That is called as a simply supported beam. Okay, so for the simply supported beam, the one end is called as a pinned support. The other end is called as a roller support. Okay, so the second diagram is a deflection diagram for this pinned support. The next one, overhanging beam. So overhanging beams, this beam will also have support, but one end and other both ends of the beam will having some extension after the support, as we can see the below figure. So the next one, what is the overhanging beam means? So if you overhanging beam means beyond the support, the beam will be extension, that is called as a overhanging beam. Okay, so you can see the first image here. First one is a hinged support. The second one is a roller support. So after roller support, the beyond the support, the beam will be extends. Okay, so that is called as a overhanging beams. Either one or two or three supports. Beyond the support, the beam will be extends. That is called as a overhanging beams. So what is the best practical example for this overhanging beam means? All the balcony, it's a overhanging beam means. You can see the second image. So that the balcony extends beyond the support. So that is a overhanging beam. Okay. So the next one, continuous beam. It is a beam which carries more than two supports, and some of the example for the continuous beam are bridges which are shown below. Okay. So you can see that first image, all the bridges is called as a continuous beam. So what is the definition for the continuous beam means? So the beams, two or more supports, that is called as a continuous beam. Like a simply supported beam, simply supported beam means is both end support is there. Okay. For the continuous beam means let's say two or more support continuity. That is called as a continuous beam. Okay. So the first diagram is a free body diagram is a continuous beam. The second diagram for the practical example for the continuous beam. So all the bridges is a continuous beam. Okay. So the next one, so we are discuss about the next one, types of the loads. So the types of the loads we are classified depends upon the action of the force. Okay, so action of the force. Okay, so we are classified three types. The first one, point load or concentrated load. The second one, uniformly distributed load. The third one, uniformly varying load. So the first one, what is a point load means? When a load concentrate at a defined point, then it is named as a concentrate load or point load. Okay, so the first one, what is a point load means? The load acting any one particular point, that is called as a point load or concentrated load. Okay, so you can see that image. So in this image, it's a beam. First one, there's a beam. Here there's a beam. So the beam and supported. So the red color, that arrow mark the load acting. The load acting any one particular point, that is called as a point load or concentrated load. Okay. So the next one, uniformly distributed load. Okay, a distributed load, it's a load which is spread on the some length of the beam. The reason is measured in the intensity with units Newton per meter. If the intensity is a constant along the length, then it is named as a uniformly distributed load. Okay. So here, what is the uniformly distributed load means? You can see the second image. So here, the beam is there and two supports is both end. So the load will be spread uniformly distributed throughout the beam. Okay, that is called as a uniformly distributed load. If uniformly distributed load means the load will be spread through the equally uniformly distributed, that is called as a uniformly distributed load. So what is a unit means? Newton per meter. For uniform distributed load means Newton per meter, that is a unit. Okay. The next one, uniformly varying load. Whenever the load distributed along the length of the beam varies in intensity uniformly according to some law. So then it is named as a uniformly varying load. Okay. So here you can see the first image. What is the uniformly varying load means? The load will be distributed varying from point to point. But point to point, it means uniformly the load will be varying from 0 point to the end point. So from the 0 point support A, the length will be different. The support B, the length will be the force. It means the force will be different. Okay, but the load will be varying from point to point, but uniformly is a varying. That is called as a uniformly varying load. Okay. So the next one here we discuss about is a bending moment. Bending moment at any point along the load beam may be defined as the sum of the moment due to the all vertical forces acting either side of the point of the beam. Okay, so that is a definition for the bending moment. What is the definition means? Here, if you bending moment, we are find out what is the moment. Okay, if a moment means force into perpendicular distance, that is a moment. Okay, so here what is the bending moment means? What is the bending for this moment we are calculate. Okay, so what is the definition for the bending moment means? The sum of the moment. Okay, it means the sum of the moment due to the all vertical forces acting on either one side of the one side of the beam. Okay, so if any one beam means we calculate for the bending moment either left side or right side. It means any one side of the sum of all the moment we are calculate either one side of the beam, it's called as a bending moment. Okay, so the bending moment is a bend to beam. So clockwise moment due to loading acting as the left side of the section are assumed as a positive, while anti-clock movements is taken as a negative. So for this bending moment, the load acting left side, so left side is a clockwise is a positive movement. The load acting right side if anti-clockwise means a negative movement. So that is the bending moment. So for example, you can see that diagram. So in our hand it's a force. Okay, we are applying the force. Okay, okay, that is a force. That force acting the perpendicular distance, so that is called as a D. Okay, so moment means force into perpendicular distance. If a bending moment means, so here we consider the sum of the moment due to all vertical forces either one side of the section. So this is a total length. We are calculate the moment either one side of the section, either left side and right side. So this is equally we divide either one side of the section. We are any area we cut the section. From this section we calculate what is the bending moment. Any one side of the section. Okay. So that is called as a bending moment. So the next one, shear force. Shear force is a force acting in the direction parallel to the surface or to planar cross section of the body. Okay. So here, what is the shear force means? The shear force is acting in the direction parallel to the surface. Okay. So here is a bread is called as a surface. The knife is acting to the knife is a force. That force acting to the bread. Okay. It means the parallel. Okay. So the what is the shear force mean? That force acting. Here the force acting, it's a knife. Okay, in the direction parallel to the surface. So what direction means? The parallel to the surface. So that is called as a shear force. So the net effect for the shear force in the shear of beam along with the point at which is acting. Shear force is taken, positive is produced the clockwise movement is taken, negative is produced anti-clockwise movement. For the shear force, for the same sign convention, if a positive means is a clockwise movement, if a negative means is an anti-clockwise movement. So next one, the shear force at any point along the loaded beam may be defined the algebraic sum of all the vertical force acting on the either side of the point of the beam. Okay, so here what is the definition for the shear force means? As the algebraic sum of all the vertical force acting either one side of the beam is called as a shear force. Okay. So the previous slide already I may explain what is the shear force means. So here the parallel to the surface, okay, the force acting parallel to the surface, that is called as a shear force. Okay, so here you can see the image in first image. Sum of algebraic sum of all the vertical forces. Okay, so here is the algebraic sum of all the vertical forces acting either one side. Okay, so the first one, you can, this is a beam. So first the yellow dotted line is a cross section of the beam. Okay, it's a neutral axis equally we divided for this beam. Okay, so the sum of all the vertical forces acting, all the vertical forces acting either one side of the beam, either one side of the beam means, so for the shear force we calculate, that's why the second image I cut the section. So the first one we calculate shear force either one side means the first section or second section, you can take any one section from, but from we are calculating from all that beam only. Okay, so that is called as a shear force. So this is a overall presentation, and from now we are discuss about what is the summary for this presentation. The first one we are discuss about for this presentation type of the support. Okay, so for the type of the support we are classified 4 types. The first one is a roller support, the second one is a pinned support, the third one is a fixed support, the fourth one is a simply support. Okay, so for the roller support, what is the representation? It means what is the here for the roller support, this is symbols. Okay, from next one, for the pinned support means this is simple, for the fixed support means this is simple, and simply support means this is simple. Okay, for the roller support means the reaction force is only vertical only. Okay, it's not allowed to horizontal and the movement. Okay, the next one for the pinned support, for the pinned support is other name is called also hinged support. If you pinned support means to allow the movement for the horizontal and vertical, but it don't allow the movement for the movement is not allowed. Okay, that is a pinned support. The third one is a fixed support. If you fix a support to allow the movement horizontal direction, vertical direction and the movement. Okay, so that is a fixed support. The fourth one is a simply support. If you simple support like a roller support only, so only we allow the movement for the vertically. So don't allow the movement for the horizontal and the movement like a roller support only. But the simply support we are not used in the structures. If you supports means only first 3 supports only we are used. Okay, so if you first one, if you roller support means the number of the reaction is only 1. If you pinned support means the number of the reaction is 2 for horizontal and vertical. Okay, for the fixed support means the number of the reaction is 3. Simply support also is the number of the reaction is 1. Okay, For this first one, for the roller support is the resisting load, is vertical load only is resisting. If we pin support vertical and horizontal load, it will be resist. Okay. If you fixed type means all the types of load, either vertical, horizontal, and the moment is resisting. Okay. So simply support is only for vertical load will be resisting. The first one we are discussed about types of the support is very important. Okay. So next one, we are discuss about the third one, types of the beam. Okay, so the types of the beam we are classified 5 types. Okay, the first one is a cantilever beam. The second one is a simply supported beam. The third one is a overhanging beam. Is a fourth one is a fixed beam. The fifth one is a continuous beam. Okay, if a cantilever beam means, so what is the cantilever beams? So the cantilever beam means one end is a fixed, other end is a free, that is called as a cantilever beam. So the second one is a simply supported beam. If a simply supported beam means both end of one fixed, both end support is there. One end is a hinged support, other end is a roller support. That is called as a simply supported beam. The third one is a overhanging beam. So beyond the support, the beam will be extend means that is called as a overhanging beam. Okay. So what is the best practical example for the overhanging beam? So all the balcony is a best practical example for the overhanging beam. So if a cantilever beam means, so the diving board is because of the diving board, one end is a fixed, other end is a free. That is a cantilever beam. Okay. So the fixed beam is all the residency building we are using continuous beam only. Okay. So if a fixed beam is fourth end is a fixed, that is called as a fixed beam. Okay. So the fifth one is a continuous beam. All the bridges are also residential building. So we are using continuous beam only. And if continuous beam only, two or more support, continuously support. That is called as a continuous beam. Okay. The third one we are discuss about classification of the load. The classification of the load, we are classified 3 category. One is a point load. The second one is a uniform distributed load. The third one is a uniformly varying load. So this load, depending on the due to the external forces we are classified. Okay, so if a point load means the load acting at a particular point, that is called as a point load. The second one is uniformly varying load. If uniformly varying load means the load will be acting uniformly distributed, that is a uniformly distributed load. The third one, uniformly varying load. Uniformly load will be varying, that is a uniformly varying load. Okay. The fourth one, the bending moment, we have discussed about what is the bending moment and the shear force. So what is the definition for the bending moment means? So all the vertical forces are acting on either one side of the point, it is called as a bending moment. Okay. So here for moment means force into perpendicular distance. Okay. So force into that force acting that distance perpendicular, the cross section distance, that is a moment. Okay. So here bending moment means all the vertical force acting either one side of the point is called as a bending moment. Okay. So next one for the shear force. The shear force at any point along the load of the beam may be defined as the algebraic sum of all the vertical forces either one side of the beam is called as a shear force. If a bending moment means we are calculate moment, if a shear force means we are calculate all the forces. So that is the difference between bending moment and shear force. Okay, thank you. General guidelines for the construction for the shear force and the bending moment diagram. So before we going to solve the problem, for the several practice to relation with the construction for the shear force and bending moment diagram need to be noted. Okay. So the first point, the load, shear and bending moment diagram should be constructed and below the other, and in order that they will the same horizontal scale. Okay. So you draw the bending moment diagram from the positive from positive bending moment means you can draw below the baseline, above the baseline. From negative shear force means you can draw the bending moment diagram below the baseline. Okay. So the dimensions of the beam need not to be scaled, but it should be relatively the proportional. 3 meter span length should be not look for more than 5 meter length. Okay. So the dimensions of the beam so need not be scaled. Okay. The third point, ordinates, for example, bending moment and shear force values need not to be plotted the scale, but it should be relatively curvature maybe need to be clarity. So the ordinates, you draw the bending moment and shear force diagram means the ordinate not be platted in the scale, okay, but that should be relatively the curvature maybe need to draw. Principal ordinates, bending moment and shear force value at the silent points should be labeled at both shear force and bending moment diagram. And the next one, for the sign convention for the shear force and bending moment diagram means for the sign convention that for the shear force is a different sign convention and bending moment is a different sign convention. Okay, so for sign convention we are taking positive and negative. So first one, for the sign convention for the shear force mean, so we shall remember only EC sign convention. So to the right side of the section, external force is acting in upward direction is it's a negative shear force. Okay, so first one, what is the negative shear force means due to the load, the right side of the section, you can calculate the right side of the section, the external force acting upward means the force is called as a negative shear force. Okay, the same, from this right side of the section upward forces is a negative. So this automatically the downward forces acting in the right side of the section is called as a positive. Okay, so what is the, for the sign convention, what is the positive and the negative shear force means? So for the positive shear force means the right side of the section, the external forces acting upward, that is called as a positive shear force. And the same section, from right side, the force acting due to the external force, the downward forces acting from this right side, that is called as a positive shear force. So the next one, the internal resistant movement at the section that makes the beam and sagging, it's treated to be positive. The sagged beam will be bent such a curvature on the top of the curvature on the bottom. Positive bending movement, a shear force which trends to rotate the beam in the clockwise direction is a positive, and the mechanics of the material, the internal resistant movement that would have the hogging of the beam is treated as a negative. The hogged beam will be shown the convex curvature at the top and the convex curvature at the bottom. Negative bending moment is okay. So the before slide we have discussed about what is the positive and the negative shear force for the shear force. So here, so what is the positive and the negative shear force for this bending moment? Okay. So for this positive and the negative shear force bending moment, we called one is a sagging moment and another one is a hogging moment. Okay. So here, what is the sagging moment means? The positive shear force we called as a sagging moment. The negative shear force we called as a hogging moment. Okay. So the first one, the positive bending moment, a shear force which tends to rotate the beam clockwise direction. Okay. So from the direction of the forces, so the beam rotating the clockwise direction is called as a positive. The beam rotating the anti-clockwise direction is a hogging moment. Okay. So this is a positive and a negative bending moment for this diagram. So before we solve the problem, so what is the sign convention and very important for the shear force and bending moment. And another one, so before we draw the diagram, what are the important points we noted for this to draw the bending moment and shear force diagram is very important. Okay.